And if you go ask cool my tension. I'ma give me, I don't feel like your body, they call my attention. Big ways, fine face, I no go lie for you, I don't place for you. I'ma get a dog base for you. Follow me, make we chop life for Dubai. Anything you want, girl, I go buy. You they put me for high tension. This one, I'm my confession. We go do holiday for Mumbai. Anything you want, girl, I go buy. You they put me for high tension. This one, I'm my confession. You got me like higher, pain back. I wanna love you for life. I don't go like to say goodbye. Nowadays my disease, when tension's way too high. You know the buttons to press to ease up my stress. I cannot compare you. I don't think compare you. I can't tell you're feeling the pressure, and I can't tell you're feeling the tension. You move your legs like this and that. You can't drive away depression. I can't tell your skill is precious. You can't change the whole direction. You move your legs like this and that. You can't drive away depression. Oh my ways, oh my ways, oh my ways. I like I see they go, baby. I like I see they go, baby. Oh my ways, oh my ways, oh my ways. I like I see they go, baby. I like I see they go, baby.
Yeah, ah na na na, yeah, 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 ah na na na. The way she dance, the way she move, just makes me wanna take her home. The way she carry that bag, they make me want to carry this girl in the go. And I love her and I like her and I wanna take her home. So we go dance and we go jolly and we go party like 99. Oh, she made me no shanani. I want you to be my honey. I want you to be my lady. Come make you dance with the spray as money. She be some cliff shanani. I do easy no shanani. Dance to the beat, no the slack my baby. Coco below my lady. Oh yeah, funke. Bakuruma, kojo dada. Alima, bakuruma, kojo dada. Dolari, bakuruma, kojo dada. Folake, bakuruma, yeah, bakuruma, kojo dada. Funke, bakuruma, kojo dada. Alima, bakuruma, kojo dada. Dolari, bakuruma, kojo dada. Folake, bakuruma, kojo dada. Money ni, modeji. Tọ́ba ní òní ló máa mú ọ̀la ló máa mú má ṣe fòyà. Ó mo ní mo dèjì. Tọ́ba ní òní ló máa mú ọ̀la ló máa mú má ṣe fòyà. Ìjó ń bẹ lẹ́sẹ̀ rẹ̀ o bèbí. Ìwọ ṣáma tó láì fẹsẹ̀ kọ́ bèbí. Ìjó ń bẹ lẹ́sẹ̀ rẹ̀ o bèbí. Ìwọ ṣáma tó láì fẹsẹ̀ kọ́ bèbí. The way you why you blow my mind, I love the way you why, girl you blow my mind, the way you why you blow my mind, see I love the way you why, girl you blow my mind. She baby no shanani, I want you to be my honey, I want you to be my lady. I'm making us with the spray as money. She be so cliff shanani, I do easy no shanani. Dance to the beat, no the slack my baby. Koko below my lady, oh ya funke. Pakurumo, kojo dada. Alimo, pakurumo, kojo dada. Dolari, pakurumo, kojo dada. Folake, pakurumo, kojo dada. Funke, pakurumo, kojo dada. Alimo, pakurumo, kojo dada. Dolari, pakurumo, kojo dada. Folake, pakurumo, kojo dada. Alhaji M.O. Balogun, Akinyo, ẹ̀nà mi lówó, gómìnà mi Fáṣọlá, bàbá Àríyó, ẹ̀nà mi lówó, Mrs. J.M. Balogun, mo rí yó, ẹ̀nà mi lówó, Mr. Wellington, Akinyo, ẹ̀nà mi lówó, spread me the money.
My home song, hey, my home song, hey, my home song, hey, my home song. Ika bara me gudima, egu.
Girl, I just want me to rock. Girl, I just want me to vibe. Girl, I just want me with you like ice water. Me and my passion be body. Please spend you my paper. After tonight, I go live to the see you later.
Yeah. It is the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company special day. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company special day at the 37th edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair. Could you please sit down? Let us start the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company special day. Let's express our sense of patriotism and love for our country by standing up for the national anthem. Thank you, distinguished guest. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you're welcome to the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Special Day. I will take you through the program of today's event, and thereafter, we will wrap up the whole thing with the national anthem. Next on the agenda will be the welcome address by the President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Immediately after, we would have presentation of products, product offerings by Engineer Adebayo Oladipupo, another one by Benjamin Sholanri, who is the AGM National Sales Controller of NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company. And then another one by the Assistant Manager, Lubricant Plant Operations. Before we get to the vote of thanks, there will be a presentation of gifts, as usual of us, by the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. There will be vote of thanks, which is expected to be delivered by Mr. Collins Ogbu, who is the Executive Director of Operations at the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited. So let's set the ball rolling by inviting the presence of the President, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Asiwaju Dr. Michael Olawale Cole, C.O.N.
In my character, I want to acknowledge God in our midst here today, because only God could have made today possible. With all that's around us in the world, that we are here today in peace and happiness in Lagos, is only by His grace. So God is the first on my list of protocol. Having acknowledged the one that owns everything, let me acknowledge my dear sister, the MD and CEO of NorthWest Petroleum and Gas, Mrs. Winifred Akpani, who is there represented by two big people. We have Executive Director Operations, Mr. Colin Ogbu, who is one of us at the chamber. We also have the ED Retail, Mr. Muhammad Salawuddin. I will want to use these two big men, one with cap, one that is capless. Use both of them as sort of contacts to all the senior staff and officers from NorthWest Petroleum and Gas. Let me come back home to SCCI, acknowledge Pastor Gabriel Idahusa. I say pastor because just to correct the man who called him pastor, he's gone now, you didn't know. He's unknown that he doesn't know he's a bishop. We call him Pastor Gabriel Idahusa. Indeed, he's bishop. I also acknowledge all other members of the chamber here present, in particular the Vice President and the Chair of the Trade Promotion Board, Engineer Kupuli, and all his board members. Acknowledge also council members here present and all our guests. On behalf of the most important, the oldest chamber of commerce in West Africa, I want to welcome you all here to the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited Special Day at this 37th edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair. The generic theme for this annual fair is connecting businesses, creating value. This theme underlines the importance of relationships and networking among businesses for wealth creation, trade partnerships, and productivity growth. The theme also underscores the value of interactions between producers, service providers, and of course the end users of those services and products. You might know that SCCI was given birth to in the year 1888 by some foreign people who were then in charge of our economy as leaders of the private sector in those days. This year, we are celebrating 135 years of SCCI. Anybody who is not up to 135 years should please clap for SCCI. I didn't see three people there. They're not clapping. Are you 135 years? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, they want to live old, so they want to be up to 135. That's why they're clapping. I wish you very well. Let me also say that this trade fair from SCCI has grown to be the biggest, the best, and the largest trade fair in West Africa, and indeed we are told now in Africa. If you look at it, this is a platform that has grown over the years for many organizations to display who they are to the Nigerian market. NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited will take this opportunity to tell us about their brand, create awareness about products and services, as well as do all you can to increase your market share. The Nigerian oil and gas industry is playing a very essential role, even roles, in terms of its contribution to GDP, government revenue, and also export earnings. Available data from MBS show that the sector contributes 5.3% of real GDP in the second quarter of this year. While in terms of real growth, the sector contracted by minus 13.4% in the second quarter of this year, compared to minus 4.2% in the previous quarter and minus 11.8% in the corresponding quarter of last year. This indicates the 13th executive contraction since the second quarter of last year, reflecting weaker oil and gas value chain benefits in the country. In relation to government revenue and export, the sector accounts for almost 40% of government revenue and 90% of export earnings in the first half of this year. However, the sector is poised for future growth, given government policy on subsidy removal, the potential contribution of the sector to Nigeria's industrial development, and the country's large endowment in oil and gas resources. The upstream segment of the sector currently produces about 1.7 million barrels per day, which reflects a huge production gap compared to the target of 2.1 million barrels per day, indicating significant headroom for growth within the industry. Also, the midstream segment is constrained by refining capacity, also insufficient gas utilization, and limited activity in the petrochemicals. This also indicates enormous opportunities and chances that are open for development in these sectors. Furthermore, the inefficiencies in this downstream sector signifies opportunities in the area of security, data management, storage, logistics, and many other challenges. The role of natural gas as a transitional fuel in global switch to clean and renewable energy presents itself huge opportunities. As you know, Nigeria is committed to achieve net zero with the Energy Transition Plan, ETP. The removal of fuel subsidies and relatively high cost of petrol and diesel, recent government initiatives on promoting CNG-enabled vehicles, as well as a newly signed electricity and 2023 are all expected to favor investment in the oil production and supply in our country. Despite these huge opportunities, the petroleum industry is still arrested by multiple challenges, including inadequate infrastructure, high exploration and production costs. We have the issue of weak legal framework. We have the issue of irregular gas supply, pipeline vandalism, and non-functional refineries, among other challenges. Moreover, the country is exporting. The country is exporting crude while currently importing refined products, with huge implications for the current country's foreign exchange. These are the opportunities available for your company and others in your industry to do what best is possible to bridge this gap so we can add value to our crude here as against providing job for other countries who currently refine for us our crude oil add value, and send them down to us here for us to buy in dollars. Therefore, deny our own people the privilege of opportunities and labor that could be employed locally to service those part of our nation's needs. Furthermore, poor regulatory oversight, security uncertainties, and pervasive corruption have weakened investors' confidence and further stifled growth in this sector. Besides, the economy is facing multiple uncertainties with high inflation, squeezed consumer income, and weak demand, unsustainable public debt, and constrained public finances. Also, the issue of high unemployment rate and poverty levels. All these factors surely have implications for production and sales in your industry. On a closing note, I want to thank NorthWest Petroleum for the great contribution they are making to our economy. I do hope and pray that you take the immense chance available to grow your company through these opportunities now here present. And I'm very confident with the new administration, they mean well to change the state of things. And I'm very confident that NorthWest Petroleum will take advantage of these opportunities. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, the President, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. A round of applause for him. Now, we will expect, the next is the presentation of NorthWest products by Engineer Adebayo Oladipupo, who is the manager in charge of lubricant plant operation. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. The President, Lagos Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Vice President, distinguished guests. My name is Engineer Adebayo Oladipupo. I've come to present to you the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited brand, a brand that has become an household name in the Nigerian oil and gas industry. A brand where we do not only create values, but we deliver it also to our numerous consumers. The humble story of NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited started in 1998, actually, when the company was registered. And we started that with distribution of petroleum products to net worth household consumers and corporate customers. Having delivered a reasonable success in this area, we moved to have a depot for our company where we can store bulk products in Calabar. And by the grace of God, when the success of the first step was followed by a successful outing in the establishment of the depot, we established a jetty and we started a jetty operation by the establishment of the most modern, the most compliant, and one of the largest jetty in Nigeria today. That is NorthWest. From here, having created a platform to support our own operations and the operations of some other companies through the jetty activities, we moved to the establishment of a retail outlet. And I want to believe that majority of us that are present here today will know NorthWest mainly through the retail operations, which is actually the face of the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited out there. Now, I want to say, and like I said before, that in NorthWest, we do not only create values, we deliver it. And this value creation and delivery is driven right from the top by the executive managing director, the supporting executive directors, and every other officer of the company. And there is an attestation of this when you go to any of our retail stations. Having done this, and by the grace of God today, established 13 retail stations across the country, we expanded our operations into the manufacturing and marketing of lubricant. Let me quickly say that the marketing of lubricant products actually started with some toll activities. But like the successful player that we are, when we are able to deliver very good results in the marketing through toll blending, we established our own lubricant plant, which was commissioned in May 2023. Actually, it was commissioned on the 13th of May this year. And from there, we have been churning out lubricant products that meet not only the local but international standards, as attested by the regulators, talking of the SON, talking of the DPR, even some other subsidiary regulators. This is what NorthWest represents. Now, I want to believe that with this and the introduction of the Rosarium brand, which we have here, into the market, NorthWest is ready, and we are prepared to play big in that industry, having had our own depot, having had our own jetty, having started establishment of retail outlets throughout the country, and with the establishment and commissioning of our lubricant plant, where we produce a range of lubricant products. The division is that when you walk into a NorthWest retail station, it's a one-stop stop point. You can buy your fuel, you can buy your lubricant, you can buy some other auto care products like the grease, like the fuel injector, like the brake fluid, and so on and so forth. We believe that with the grace of God, this vision for the lubricant will also be fully achieved, and the larger vision that is represented by a foray into the LPG will come on board very, very soon. Mr. President, Vice President, sir, and distinguished guests, this is the humble story of NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited, and this is what we have brought to you. Thank you so much. My colleague, we want us to quickly watch a short video where this humble story that I've told is recapped by one of the executive directors of the company. Thank you once again, and God bless you, sir.
It has been studied that the global market of lubricant was 165 billion sometime in 2022 and expected to grow at the rate of 2.7% by 2027 to achieve $188 billion. Imagine the volume. And it is also envisaged that the engine oil will be the largest lubricant sector, while synthetic and premium grade will also be increasing in demand, in particularly automotive sector, while transformer oil will be in demand in the power sector. We also need to understand that Nigeria's local market for the lubricant. In 2022, the major lubricant downstream sector did close to 183 billion naira, and which is expected to grow at the rate of 3.5%, and it will reach to 597 million liters sometime in 2026. Looking at this huge lubricant market potential, we started our Rosarium lubricant brand sometime in 2019 through importation, and now we commissioned the ultra modern lubricant plant in 2023, and it has a very unique features which I would like to explain. It has a capacity of 30 million liters per annum, and it is very unique in nature in the sense that it can blend and fill all automotive grades as well as industrial grades of lubricants. When we say automotive grades, means not only engine oil, it can also blend the auto care products such as gear oil, transmission fluid, brake fluid, coolant, fuel injector, etc. This plant is very unique in the sense that it can also do the grease, which is very unique. You can see many plants in Nigeria, but the grease is limited to very, very few plants. It has capacity of filling as small as jar of 350 gram and as large as drums of 208 liters. That is the uniqueness of this plant. In line with our display of mega stations, we are also highly conscious about the quality, quantity and transparency in all our products and the process. And to ensure that we have certified lab by SON as well as NMDPR to ensure that anytime we are doing blending as well as filling, we do checks as per the ISO standards. We always ensure that we fill only the virgin base oil and global brand of additives such as Chevron Oronite, Infineum, Lubrizol, and so on and so forth. You must be aware that there are very cheap grades of lubricants are available in Nigeria, and the main reason is that they may not use the virgin base oil. They can use recycled base oil, which is not a good sign of a good product. In order to ensure the process transparency and also the quantity assurance, we have provisioned load cell as well as mass flow meter to ensure that all our blending is done based on the weight basis and not on the volume basis. Most of the plants, they use the metering system which only measures the volume, which is not a good practice globally. Apart from this blending and filling, we also made our plant very efficient by loading our trucks as fast as possible, and for which we have provided ground plus 3 storage racking system equipped with battery operated forklift as well as stackers, which is very, very environmental friendly. There is no sound and there is no pollution of spillage. That also reflects our environmental consciousness as a company. With all these facilities, we are very, very confident that we can serve our customers more than they expect.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, Mr. President. And quickly, even while we're here, I want to run the great audience through our plant, take you to our plant, and we come back before we listen to the next presentation by one of my colleagues. Please, let's have the slides. I want to take us through the plant installation. We are NorthWest, and we see ourselves, even though we are local, we are running global. This is the plant in Ijegun-Egba area of Satellite Town, and around here is where we have the utility. There where we have the tank is where we receive our base oil through flow meter and automatic tank gauge to ensure quality and accountability. Please, next slide because of time. And now, like I said, let's take a tour of the plant to see. This is the operation center for our lubricant manufacturing. Here we call it the control room. And only one person is here to run the entire operation of receiving base oil, charging it into kettles, blending it with additives, transferring it to the next stage, and getting it filled in the bottles. Just one person, and the entire operation is run from here, electronically controlled. Please, next slide. Yes, this is our power room. The power room is where we back up, where we carry out the power operations for the plant. That talking of receiving power supply from the national grid, and when the need arises, from our generators, which I will talk about later. Next slide, please. This is where we receive our base oil. And here, like I said earlier on, we have automatic tank gauge, we have flow meters to ensure correctness in volume, in quantity, and being able to account for whatever comes into us as base oil, which is our raw material. Next slide, please. So this has the storage tanks. Just in front of it is the receipt point that I just spoke about. And each of these 4 storage tanks has a capacity of 205,000 liters, meaning that in the plant we have capacity to store 820,000 liters of base oil raw material. Next slide, please. And so this is the kettle where we blend our products. What you see people doing there is just checking what is going on in the kettle. And like I said in my previous presentation, these are the blending kettles. The man in the control room sends base oil into these kettles. He also sends in the additive to meet it. This person is just there to check that what is supposed to be is what it is. Next slide, please. So these are process lines through which the mix of additives and base oil and other chemical inputs run before they manufacture the auto care products that I spoke about. Talking of grease, talking of brake fluid, talking of fuel injectors, and the rest of it. This section of the plant deals with that. And what that means is that drive into a retail station of NorthWest, you have your fuel, you have the grease, you have the brake fluid, you have the fuel injector, and every other auto care product that you may want to have. Please, next slide. Okay, having finished the product, please, previous slide. Having finished the product, next after this. Okay. Before you go to that, this is a portion of our laboratory where when the product is fully blended, we test the blended product to ensure that the set quality parameters are met. Let me quickly say that apart from approving the quality of our products, the SON, the DPR have also applauded and approved the laboratory as one of the best in Nigeria. Please, next slide. So, having blended, having packed, and we now have the products in carton. This is our warehouse. This is a modern warehouse. When you go to majority of warehouses around, you see wood, you see everything. or you see locally fabricated that do not have alignment. This warehouse is capable of storing more than 1 million liters of product at any particular time. And let me quickly say that as you see this forklift, we have more order. We have one other forklift. We have stackers that are junior brothers to the forklift. And we also have hand pallets to ensure that even when we do our activity, when we carry out our manufacturing activities, we ensure that proper ergonomics of the operators are observed. Please, next slide. Yes, these are racks that I just spoke about for storage of finished lubricant products. From here, we load out to our customers. Next slide, please. Yes, this is the section that talks about our utility items. Here we have the tank that takes in the diesel for our own consumption within the plant. And there, the red tank that you see is the tank for storage of water. We have 2 of them, and each can take 50,000 liters of water for firefighting in case of any emergency. Please, next slide. Yes, this is also an extension, and you can see the other tank at the end. This is where we have the water treatment plant to cater for our requirement in the plant. Please, next slide. Yes, we have 2 generators. Apart from receiving power supply from the national grid, we have a 500 kVA generator there, and a 100 kVA generator at the other end, such that when we are off production, and as part of our efficiency, which helps us to deliver value at appropriate cost to the end user, we do not run a 500 kVA generator when actually we could have run a 100 kVA. This is part of the strategic thinking. Next slide. And thank you very much, Mr. President and Vice President.
Thank you, Mr. Adebayo Oladipupo. He's in charge of lubricant plant operations. I would also call on the Assistant Manager, Lubricant Plant Operations, Mr. Gbenga Akinwumi, to please give us more insight into NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. President and the Vice President, I'm happy to be here to represent NorthWest. You know, in NorthWest, we have a special brand. Our Rosarium product is one of the best in the industry. Actually, it is formulated in such a way that anywhere you take our product to, anywhere in the world, it will meet the international standard. So that's why when you move around in the city of Lagos or in Nigeria, please patronize our product. Thank you. My slide, please. So we say in NorthWest that more than you expect. When you buy our product, you'll find out that it's actually of higher quality. And it has to do with how we source our raw materials. Basically, when you talk about lubricant, it's made up of 2 major raw materials. You talk about base oil plus additive. So those are the 2 main raw materials for lubricant. So in NorthWest, we have a system in place for sourcing our base oil. We always look for a virgin base oil so that the quality of the product will be good. Also for additives, we make use of international brands of additives where we are blending our product. Make use of Lubrizol, Oronite, and Infinium, and some other brands. This one has been shown earlier on. This is where we have our blending kettles. This is our lab. You know, before we buy any raw materials, we had to take sample from the customer to analyze, to make sure that it meets our specific specification. So like I said earlier on, we have additive base oil and packaging materials. This is base oil, additive. So what's the essence of adding additive in your product? It's basically to give performance in your engine oil. So the additive helps to work as an anti-wear, detergent, dispersant, antioxidant, anti-corrosion, and viscosity improver in your engine. All these will increase the performance of the engine oil. So these are all the tests we carry out on our lubricant before it meets international spec. So basically in NorthWest, we have various ranges of grades of lubricant that we manufacture. We have the automotive grade, we have the industrial grade, and the auto care. It's so funny that in Nigeria, it's only our plant that has the capacity to blend all these products in one plant. So that's why we have an edge over others in the business. For our automotive grade, we have all this in our grades currently now. We have our SAE 40 motor oil. We have diesel SAE 40. We have our Rosarium Premium 20W50. Also, we have synthetic products for new cars. We have our 5W30 API-SN. For diesel series, for generators and bigger diesel engine, we have our Rosarium Heavy Duty 15W40. And we also have our Rosarium Ultimate 15W40 CI4. So also we have our gear oil series in the automotive range. For industrial grade, we have various products. It's a whole lot of range from gear oil to hydraulics, compressor oil, turbine oil. We have capacity for marine oil, gas engine oil, UTTO, which is Universal Tractor Transmission Oil. We also do soluble cotton oil, heat transfer oil, and greases. For the auto care product, like my manager said earlier on, we are into production of coolant, brake fluid, Rosarium fuel injector, and Rosarium ATF. If you visit any of our filling stations, you see all this range of products there. Basically, these are plant facility that has been shared earlier on. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Benga Kiumi, for that. I'll call on, before I go on, let me just acknowledge the presence of Mr. Cyril Okolo, who is the AGM in charge of logistics and business development at the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited. Could you please stand up for recognition? Yeah, thank you. So, okay. I'm calling on Mr. Benjamin Solari, is AGM, National Sales Controller, NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company, to give us his own insight on his company. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. President and the Vice President, distinguished guests. Just want to talk to you about our offering, particularly looking at our range of lubricants. For us in NorthWest, when you look at our engine oil, we have our brand, and our brand is Rosarium. And I want that name to ring a bell, and for us to go on with that name as we go into the market. Look for Rosarium, you'll find Rosarium. And we have, when we say Rosarium, we always let you know that you will definitely experience the power of more. So when I say Rosarium, you please help me by saying experience the power of more. Because Rosarium will give you more than you expect. So when I say Rosarium, you please answer me. Thank you very much. Rosarium? You are not getting charged very well. Rosarium. Rosarium. Yes, because Rosarium will make your engine roar. And then you'll go on and on and on and on. And I mean, it's a wonderful experience using Rosarium engine oil. So I'll just quickly take you through our engine oil. Engineer Bayo, can you give me the synthetic there? Give us the synthetic and the premium brand. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So here, just put it down there. Here we have the synthetic, our SN5W30 for your brand new vehicles. This oil will help your engine go anywhere in the country. You are sure, you are free, and you can use it. It will provide you the quality that you are looking for. And I want to tell you about our engine oils. Our engine oils, they're not oils that you use and you need to add oil treatment. You don't add oil treatment. They are already treated. And they have the advantage of fuel economy. When you use our synthetic, you use our premium, you are sure that your engine will perform optimally and your fuel consumption will reduce. Note that very well. We have that advantage, the fuel economy advantage. As you use our synthetic, you can also use our premium. And this has the API of SM. And I need to quickly let us know. The API, American Petroleum Institute. And what do? They talk about the performance of the engine oil. And so when you see this oil and you check what is called the API, you will see that it has an API of SM. And when you see any oil and you pick it and you check the API and you see S starting it, it means spark engine. And that's a petrol engine oil. That's what it means. So I need to quickly put in that education. And this is SM. And this is the highest grade of mineral-based oil that we have in the country now. So we are parading the best and the highest. And that's our premium. So you can be sure of our quality. You can be sure of what we are presenting and giving to our customers. And we have, for all our vehicles that are old, we also have our SAE 40 that you can use, and your vehicle will love you because you are giving the vehicle the best treatment. And Rosarium is the best treatment for your vehicles. And that's what we have to offer you from NorthWest. And also, looking at our offerings from the our plant, we also offer toll blending. So peradventure, you are dreaming, I want to start my own oil business, and I don't know where to blend. Look no other place. Don't go far. Come to NorthWest. We'll help you blend the best. And you will never regret it. Because when you get out there, the customers will ask you, where did you get this oil? Don't let them know it's from NorthWest. Because that's where the champions are made. And that's who we are. So we're currently blending for international companies. And we wouldn't mind if you also join us. and have a taste of NorthWest. You will definitely love it. So thank you very much. In a nutshell, that's what we are offering to you. And we are sure that by the time you use our product, if you have not used it before, you'll find us in the market. And also I want to let you know that there's opportunity for you also to be our distributor. You understand? You can be our distributor. We have that also. And you can be a retailer. We have a team that is always on the move. We'll get to where you are. Just get across to us and do business with us. You will never regret it. So I want to say thank you very much. Rosarium? Yeah, I wanted to know whether you say Rosarium. Experience the power of more. Aha, you are getting it now. Experience the power of more. Rosarium. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With the extent I shouted, I'm just wondering if I'll be given a plate of rice after this. This the time is well spent thus far. We are presenting plaque of acknowledgement of support for this program for LCCI by NorthWest Petroleum and Gas, for NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited. The plaque will be presented by the President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Ashiwaju himself, Dr. Michael Olawale Cole, CON. He'll be supported by the Deputy President, Mr. Gabriel Idaosa, FCA, and of course, the Chairman of the Board of Trade Promotions, and also a Vice President at the Chamber, at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Engineer Leye Kupoli. To lead the delegation from NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited will be Mohammed Salahuddin. He's an Executive Director, Retail. He will be supported by Mr. Collins Ogu, who is Executive Director. Operations, yeah. We also expect Mr. Benga Kiumi on the platform. We also Mr. Cyril Okolo, and Mr. Benjamin Sholari, and Mr. Adebayo Oladipupo. Please join the distinguished team on the platform. Could you stand at the other end? I want to acknowledge you. Come on, say, be part of the team.
We are happy today to have NorthWest Petroleum here. The way their lubricants were projected or advertised, I felt like drinking it. But I was warned by Pastor Dahosa, it's not for drinking. It's for drinking by motor, not by human beings. Well, thank you very much, NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited, for being part of this. We are very proud of you. You've been very, very supportive to the chamber. We look forward to having you more in the years to come. And we pray that God will take your company to the next level of expansion. So I pray. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, everybody. Mr. Mohammed Salahuddin, could you please wait behind for the vote of thanks, please? Salahuddin, please. Vote of thanks.
On behalf of NorthWest Petroleum and Gas, I'd like to say a big thank you to the President, the Deputy President, and all the executive members of the Lagos Chambers for giving NorthWest the opportunity and a platform for us to be able to showcase what we are worth in terms of capacity, in terms of execution, in terms of our planning and delivery. We thank you very much. We pray that both NorthWest Petroleum and the family, as well as LCCI, will continue to grow together. Thank you very much, and God bless. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us rise to our national anthem. Thank you so much for gracing the NorthWest Petroleum and Gas Company Limited Special Day at the 37th edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair. Thank you so much. Make your health